The train keeps on chugging for the Toronto Maple Leafs as 5 games remain in the regular season portion of the schedule for the Toronto Maple Leafs. With the 5-1 win today, the Buds have now won 5 consecutive games. They've now, in the last 4 games, they've only allowed 1 goal in each contest. They've played fantastic defensively. Soupy Jack Campbell has been phenomenal over the last little while. And he did it yet again today. A lot of help in front of him, but he made the saves when he needed to. And the Leafs, with the 5-1 win, improved to 33-13-5 on the year and get that much closer to clinching the North Division. Now, it didn't start out all great for the Toronto Maple Leafs in this one. 13-28 in, Tanner Pearson scores from a rough angle, kind of some miscommunication on the front. I think it was Tavares and, was it Justin Hall? Can't remember who it was. They had some miscommunication there. Pearson on the sideboards kind of ripped it off the post and in. It is what it is. You're down 1-0 midway through the first period. 3 minutes after that, puck gets dumped down. Who's there to get there? Nick Foligno doing Nick Foligno things, getting into the corner, sliding the loose puck around the back of the net to Mitch Marner, who quick time centers it to Austin Matthews, who fires it on. It goes off the stick of the defender, but up and off the post and in as the Leafs do an incredible job, and they tie the game at 1. When you got luck going like crazy, like Austin Matthews does, just about everything's going to go in. And that's why that goal, he didn't shoot the puck really well. It kind of ramped off a stick and it knuckled on Thatcher Demko, but it hit the post and went in. Doesn't matter. Goal number 37 on the season for Austin Matthews. Marner and Foligno grab assists on that goal at 15:24 of the first period. And we go into the intermission tied 1-1. All right? Not bad. You got back into the game. You evened it up. That's okay. Second period. Again, another great play. This is what I always talk about. You don't have to go in and crush guys. You don't have to lead the game in hits. You don't have to be a grindy team and fight teams. No, be hard on the puck. And what happens here? Well, Vancouver has it in their own end. Who goes into the corner, crashing into it? Mitch Marner. Goes into the corner, grabs the loose puck, centers it for Austin Matthews, and I think it ricochets off the defender and in. But as I mentioned, when you have a horseshoe so far rammed up your butt, great things are going to happen. And Austin Matthews buries his 38th goal of the year, putting the Leafs in front now 2-1. Marner has the lone assist on the goal at 3:50 of the second period. And, that's the end of 2. You're up 2-1. You've played pretty sound hockey since that first goal by the Vancouver Canucks. You played really, really well from there on. And in that third period, a point shot from Justin Hall, deflected in by Adam Brooks. Brooks with his, his third goal or fourth goal of the year. He's got 5 points in 8 games. Adam Brooks doing work down the fourth line. Brooks from Spezza and Justin Hall. And it was actually a really nice tip from Adam Brooks. That's the way you love to do it, right? Puck's high in the air, below the crossbar, of course. And he deflects it down just enough to go under the glove of Thatcher Demko. That goal was at 4:55 of the third period. And that right there kind of just deflated the Canucks. You can kind of see it, right? They played an all right second period, but the Leafs took the 2-1 lead. Then that early third period goal, less than 5 minutes in, just deflated the Canucks. The Leafs just dominate play the rest of the game. Dump and chase hockey when you're up 2 goals. It makes a lot of sense. And then they get another opportunity. Nylander in tight, nice little backhand shot, stopped by Demko, but who's there to clean up the garbage is Alex Galchenyuk, a.k.a. Chucky. And what a goal for him. Lots of emotion in the goal for him because this guy has gone through so much in his young career. And a well-deserved goal for Galchenyuk. Nylander and Tavares grab assists on this play. These 2 guys of Nylander and Tavares have been phenomenal over the past little while. I think Tavares has points in 10 of his last 11 games. He had 17 points in the month of April. He has been on fire as of late. And, he had a slow start to the year. But tell me, guys, would you rather your captain, John Tavares, and William Nylander start the year strong and end cold, or start slow and end red hot going into the playoffs? I think I'd take the latter. And with that Galchenyuk goal at 11:39, the Leafs then take a 4-1 lead, and it was just over at that point. Then Jumbo Joe Thornton scores on the empty net, points in 3 straight games for Jumbo. Riley and Travis Dermott grab assists on the empty netter at 18 even of the third period. Ladies and gentlemen, the Leafs are just on an absolute roll. As I mentioned off the top, they've only allowed 1 goal in each of the last 4 games, 2 against Vancouver, 2 against Winnipeg. Shots on goal in the game were 30-27 in favor of the Leafs. We only had the 1 power play, didn't score on it. We had the 1 penalty against us, killed that one off. So special teams really weren't a factor in this game today. Key players in this one, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. Matthews with 2 goals, Marner with 2 apples in the game today, and then Jack Campbell, right? Then our boy Soupy, who has had a ridiculously good season. Had a obviously the red hot start to the year, an NHL record for consecutive wins to start a year, and then that stretch of 3 or 4 games where he was just not very good at all. And when the Leafs lost 5 in a row, he wasn't playing well. Riddick didn't give you anything. But for some reason, I don't know what snapped in Jack Campbell, but he all of a sudden changed, and he has been unreal lately. Soupy, keep doing what you're doing, bud. Frederik Andersen's back skating. We don't know what the future holds with him. We don't know what the playoffs are. Look, if Jack Campbell's playing like this heading into the playoffs, I want him to start. I love Freddie. I love what he's done for his entire career with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But you got to play the hot hand. And if Freddie has not played 1, maybe 2 NHL, which I highly doubt that because we only have 5 games left and he hasn't even gone on a conditioning stint yet. So I can't see him playing at all in the regular season, Freddie. So if that's the case, why would you throw him out there in the playoffs? You just wouldn't. So Jack Campbell, in my opinion, it just seems logical that he is your game 1 starter, assuming it's against the Montreal Canadiens. So that's just my take on that. Campbell, 1 goal on 27 shots today. Again, wasn't very busy. It wasn't a very busy 27 shots, but he made the saves when you needed to. He allowed your team to win the game. Give him the 1 early goal, the 1 mid-first period goal, but was just completely shut the door the rest of the way. And Jack Campbell, who has been a revelation for the Toronto Maple Leafs because you've needed him. Freddie's been subpar all season long. You've needed Jack Campbell to be this good. And he has. Like I mentioned earlier, with the win today, the Leafs are 33-13-5. And with that, the Leafs are, and you guys can do the math, the Leafs, without the overtime losses, are 20 games over 500. I don't care about the division, and I don't care about the teams you're playing against and blah, 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 whatever that nonsense. Because always you hear every year, non-COVID, well, who's the best Canadian team? Well, Winnipeg's up there. The Leafs are always good. Edmonton's got the best player. Well, I think it's been pretty, it's been, I guess, proved in this season that the Leafs are by far the best team in the North Division. There's no doubt about it. And obviously the playoffs are going to be a different story. People are going to say, well, if you play Montreal, you obviously got to steamroll them. I will tell you this. The playoffs, as we all know, is a totally different beast. Leaf fans know that very well. But the way I look at it is, let's say you play the Montreal Canadiens. Let's say you beat them every game in the regular season. You didn't. But let's say you did. Those games mean absolutely nothing heading into the playoffs. The Leafs on paper were supposed to be Columbus last year. Flying offense, they had everything you needed. You lost. You couldn't score. No one expected Korpisalo and Merzlikins to crush the Leafs last year in the playoffs. They're good goalies, but they didn't expect that. Playoff hockey brings out the best or the worst in players. And for Leaf fans, we always expect the worst because we have not seen the best. We have not seen success. We've seen regular season success, but never playoffs. And that's where every Leaf fan's sitting here waiting and waiting. Yes, there's 5 games remaining. I know. It's like pulling teeth at this point, watching this team the rest of the way. Not saying they're not fun to watch, because they damn well are. But we know what's going to be happening after 5 games. And we're pretty comfortable there at the top spot in the North. So it's like we're sitting here waiting. Okay, we have a feeling we know where we're sitting, so let's get this thing over with. I get it. But these 5 games are important. The Leafs could get some rest down the stretch. They, could get Dave Riddick in for some game action. Austin Matthews is 2 goals away from 40 with 5 games left. It's obviously doable, and he's playing 3 games against the Montreal Canadiens, and he absolutely dominates the Habs. So it's very doable for Matthews to hit 40. I mentioned in the last video, 40 or stay healthy. Well, he's at 38 and he's still healthy, so that's great news. But speaking of the Montreal Canadiens, the next game for the Leafs is against Montreal at the Bell Center on Monday night. It's a 7 o'clock puck drop there as the Leafs can continue on this roll, look for win number 6 in a row, and just to continue to build and build and build heading into the playoffs. One question I have for you guys, and I'm going to wrap it up here. What are your thoughts on Adam Brooks? Like I mentioned earlier, it's like 5 points in 8 games. He's got 3 or 4 goals. He's looked really sound out there. And that fourth line with him, Thornton, and Spezza were great again tonight. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the game there this evening, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. If you've not done so already, guys, comment down below everything towards Toronto Maple Leafs. The goods, the bads, your expectations in the playoffs, your thoughts on tonight's game. Go crazy in the comments below, guys. Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do that great stuff. The Instagram link is down below, so follow up there if you have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys a little bit later on. Jay's edition, they're, I think, in the 7th or 8th inning against the Atlanta Braves right now. And I'll talk to his Raptors edition a little bit later on as they're taking on the Utah Jazz in Utah, starting actually very shortly. So I'll talk to his post-game then. And as for the Leafs, as I've mentioned, their next contest is on Monday night in Montreal, taking on the Canadiens at the 7 p.m. puck drop there. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.